Kissing was not always romantic. It was not always intimate. It did not start as an expression of love or desire or attraction. Before it became the thing poets wrote about and people did on New Year's Eve, kissing was something else entirely. Something functional. Something every primate on Earth does in some version. Something your own mother almost certainly did to you before you were old enough to remember it. Ancient humans did not invent kissing because they fell in love. So if kissing didn't begin as romance, where did it come from? And what was it originally for? Before we get to that, there is something even stranger to consider. Nearly half of all human cultures on Earth have never kissed romantically. In 2015, anthropologists William Jankowiak, Shelley Volsha, and Justin Garcia published the first systematic cross-cultural study of romantic kissing ever conducted. They examined 168 cultures. In 77 of them, 46%, they found no evidence of romantic kissing whatsoever. No ritual, no tradition, no word for it. The Tsonga of southern Africa historically considered the practice repulsive. When European missionaries first arrived and kissed in public, Tsonga observers reportedly said it looked like people were eating each other's saliva. They were not wrong. The Himba of Namibia have no kissing tradition. Neither do several indigenous groups across Oceania, sub-Saharan Africa, and the Amazon. These are not isolated cases. These are nearly half of all human societies ever studied, which means kissing is not instinct. It is not hardwired. It was not inevitable. It had to be invented somewhere, and the place it was invented tells us something deeply strange about what it actually is. The oldest written record of a romantic kiss comes from northern India. Around 1500 BC, Vedic Sanskrit texts describe the practice of pressing lips together and inhaling the other person's breath. For centuries, historians assumed this was the origin, that kissing had been invented in South Asia and spread outward through trade and conquest. But then archaeologists found something that complicated the timeline entirely. In 2023, researchers Troels Pank Arbol and Sophie Lund Rasmussen published a study in the journal Science examining ancient Mesopotamian texts from as far back as 2500 BC. Clay tablets from ancient Babylon described kissing in both romantic and sexual contexts. The kiss was not a South Asian invention. It was older, much older, and the deeper researchers dug, both literally and figuratively, the further back the evidence went. Here is where it gets strange. Our closest living relatives, chimpanzees and bonobos, kiss, not metaphorically. They press lips together. They do it after conflicts to reconcile. They do it as greeting. They do it to comfort distressed group members. Bonobos in particular use lip contact so frequently and in so many social contexts that primatologists have spent decades trying to map all the situations that trigger it, which raises an uncomfortable question. If chimpanzees kiss and humans kiss, but 46% of human cultures developed independently without romantic kissing, what exactly is kissing? Is it instinct? Is it learned behavior? Is it something in between? The answer appears to be all three, depending entirely on what kind of kissing you are talking about. Because here is the part nobody tells you. Kissing is not one thing. Researchers who study it divide it into at least 3 distinct categories with completely different evolutionary origins. The first is affiliative kissing, the kind chimps and bonobos do. Comfort, reconciliation, social bonding. This appears to be the oldest form. It is present across primate species and likely predates the emergence of our own genus entirely. The second is what researchers call mate assessment kissing. This is the form most common in romantic relationships. When you kiss someone for the first time, your brain is running a biological analysis you are not consciously aware of. Your lips contain more nerve endings per square centimeter than almost any other part of your body. Your saliva carries chemical information about your immune system, your stress hormones, your genetic compatibility. A 2007 study by Gordon Gallup at the University of Albany found that 59% of men and 66% of women reported losing attraction to someone after kissing them for the first time. Not gaining attraction, losing it. The kiss itself was the test. And for more than half of people, the person failed it. Your lips know things your conscious mind hasn't figured out yet. But the third origin is the one that changes everything, the one that traces kissing back to its oldest and most fundamental form. It is called pre-mastication, And it is exactly what it sounds like. Before the invention of baby food, before soft-weaning foods were readily available, human mothers fed their infants by chewing food themselves, breaking it down, softening it, and then transferring it directly from their own mouth to their infant's mouth, lip to lip. This is not a fringe theory. This practice has been documented in cultures across every inhabited continent. It is still practiced today in parts of sub-Saharan Africa, the Pacific Islands, and indigenous communities in the Americas. And it is not uniquely human. Mother chimpanzees do it. Mother bonobos do it. Across the primate family, mouth-to-mouth food transfer is one of the most fundamental acts of care a mother can offer. Evolutionary biologist Von Bell and others have argued that this is the foundation on which all other forms of kissing were built. The gesture that began as feeding became comfort. The gesture that became comfort became bonding. The gesture that became bonding became love. Think about what that means. When you kiss someone you love, the gesture your body reaches for, the thing that feels most natural and most intimate, is a 4 million-year-old act of a mother feeding her child. The same neural pathways, the same lip contact, the same transfer of something of yourself into someone else. Just repurposed, just redirected, from survival into something that looks remarkably like its opposite. There is one more thing. A 2013 study published in the journal Archives of Sexual Behavior found that the frequency with which couples kiss is one of the strongest predictors of relationship satisfaction. Stronger than sexual frequency, stronger than shared interests, stronger than communication style. Not the intensity of the kiss, not the context, just the frequency. How often two people press their lips together and stay there for a moment. Primatologist Frans de Waal spent decades studying bonobos and concluded that their near-constant physical contact, including kissing, was the primary mechanism by which they maintained social harmony in large groups. Conflict arose. They kissed. The conflict dissolved. We lost that. Somewhere between the savannah and the smartphone, humans built a world where most of us go entire days without meaningful physical contact with another person. And we treat the resulting loneliness as a personal failure rather than a biological wound. Kissing started as feeding. It became comfort. It became the way two people tell each other they are safe. The poets got there eventually, but your body knew it first. Long before language. Long before romance. Long before anyone had a word for what they were doing or why it felt the way it did. An ancient human leaned forward, pressed their lips to someone they loved, and passed something of themselves across. We're still doing it. We just forgot what it was for.